Bienvenidos and welcome to the season finale of Average Jose's Sports Talk.
Sports Talk.
I'm your host, Jeremiah.
I'm the other guy, Cullen.
And yeah, like I said, this is the season finale. The Super Bowl just wrapped up on Sunday, so got some things to talk about there. NBA is approaching the halfway break with the All-Star game coming up this weekend. And Steph Curry just set a record last night. So a little bit to talk about there. But as always, before we get to any of that, we always got to start with our daily Immaculate Grid.
Immaculate Grid.
I know we got the Bears on there this week. All right. For those of you listening at home, we got Patriots, Packers, 50 plus career sacks on the top.
50.
Left, we got Bears, Panthers, and Browns. All right. I'm just going to let you fill this out because, Bears are on here, so you should know all of them.
I do know a few. So for the Bears, Packers, we have Mercedes Lewis. I don't know how to spell his first.
Mercedes.
Assuming that one, yeah.
Cool. 4%. Look at you.
For the Bears 50 sack career, I'm assuming Montez Sweat has 50 plus sacks in his
That's what I
career,
was
but
thinking.
maybe not. Because I don't know how many seasons he's been playing.
What about like Khalil Mack?
Khalil Mack probably does have 50 sacks in his career. I would go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the sack leader.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say he was like a stud defensive end.
There's someone else, Jared Allen. I think was.
Mm.
Oh no, Julius Peppers. Put Julius Peppers for Panthers 50 plus. No. 50
Panthers.
Panthers. I was gonna say him for the Bears 50 plus, but I knew that Bears had other ones, and I don't know many Panthers players. So
That's fair.
Oh,
Cam Newton was Panthers and Patriots, right?
He was.
Which Cam Newton? What?
I didn't know there was more than one.
Oh, what is that photo they
Yeah, that's
chose
awful.
for him?
He was like mid-fall when they took it. For Bears, Patriots, there is the quarterback that I'm blanking on his name.
You guys never had Drew Lock.
Oh my, he's like an older one.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You try to think of the other ones while I try to remember.
For Browns 50 plus sacks, who was it that got defensive player this year?
Did Myles Garrett win it?
Myles Garrett, I think. He'd have 50 plus, right?
Yeah, that dude's a beast.
Yeah.
He's one. I think he was the one that has the.
Yeah, 77%.
He had the jacket that had a list of all the quarterbacks that he had sacked. It was like a Grim Reaper coat.
Oh, that's sick.
And on the back of it, it had a list of every quarterback that he had.
Was that made by Juicecheck's wife, or was that just one he?
No, this was seasons ago.
Oh, okay. That's crazy though. Wow.
Was it Kyle Orton?
Oh, Orton. I
remember
Orton.
Or a Patriot?
I feel like he might have been. He played long enough.
I want to say that's one that I was thinking of.
Oh,
damn it! There's a few in that little area of time that I know for a fact, and I can picture his face. I just can't remember his name. Just an average white guy, like
John Morris.
No.
Let me pull up. Let's see. Steve McMichael, Ted Washington, Akeem Hicks played for both teams. Keith Taylor. The only players that threw a pass for each of these Brian Hoyer. Is that who you're thinking of?
Hoyer. That's
Hoyer.
The exact guy that I was thinking of. Damn, I'm so mad at myself. That's the exact face.
Yeah, look at him. I was gonna say.
He looks like a me character from the Wii.
Yeah, I could see that.
Damn it, that's the exact face I was thinking of, but I had Kyle in my brain.
It's
Well, I
tough.
actually had an O in my
Well, you want to know
brain.
something crazy? He also played for the Browns.
That's actually honestly, he's like Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I'm pretty sure the picture is from the Raiders. I'm pretty sure he was a Raiders
Yeah, it
too.
looks like a Raiders jersey. I'm looking at Browns and Patriots players. I'm not recognizing like any of these names. 95 players have played for both of these franchises.
That's actually insane.
They've had 5 different. Jacoby Brissett. I vaguely remember him. He played like one season
I
with
didn't know.
the Patriots.
Yeah, I didn't know he played for the Page.
Yeah, I think he got drafted by
I can
them.
kind of actually picture that a little bit.
Yeah, I
And
forgot about him.
obviously, he played for the Browns this season. So
All right, Packers and Panthers. Let's see how many. I kind of like this. I'm using ProFootballReference.com, so they know like legit everything. Reggie White, Julius Peppers. Oh, so Julius Peppers was a Packer as well.
yeah, I just knew for sure he had 50 plus sack careers, and I didn't know anything about. I
So
like to get the stat one down
that's an easy one to
because
always
I
get done.
typically know those ones.
So it says 41 players have played for both of these teams. So we'll just go good old Steve Bono here.
Bono played for. Bono was in the NFL.
1%. Yeah, that Bono from was it Coldplay? U2. I was getting
You too.
confused. U2. And we might as well just look up who Browns and Packers were, even though we can't use a guess for it. All right. Players for Browns and Packers. Willie Davis. I feel like Willie Davis has played on like all of these teams. That's crazy. A lot of running backs. Wow. Decent amount of receivers. 92 players have played for each of these franchises. Anyone like recently that we would know? Definitely not. Ibrahim Campbell. I recognize that name. Yeah, that's crazy.
I wonder who was higher on the list for the Bears Packers one. I thought Mercedes Lewis would have more than 4%.
For both Bears and Packers. I feel like this one's going to be like 2,000 players have played for both these teams. I feel like when you see like division stuff, it's always like, oh, Bob Jeter, Derek Jeter's uncle. Just kidding. I made that up. But you believe me, and that's the problem.
It didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Julius Peppers is a Hall of Famer too, so you would think he'd be higher. Tim Boyle. I always forget about good old Tim Boyle. Bubba Douglas.
Oh, of course.
Bobby Floyd. Dick Gordon. Can you guess what like era these names are from based off all these names?
I figured it would be a lot of older
Yeah,
guys
it's a lot of
that when the league had
60s.
fewer teams,
Yep.
that's when they would be trading and stuff.
103 players have played for both of these teams.
Yeah, I
Waylon
figured it would
Becker.
be a lot.
Waylon Becker was a Bear in 1934 and then became a Packer for the 36 to 38 seasons.
I would definitely know that. That was just 90 years ago.
I feel like Tim Boyle would oh, haha Clinton Dix. He was on both teams.
Yeah,
He
I
did a
guess that's
season.
true.
He was a big name when he was on the Packers.
Only reason I even thought of Mercedes Lewis was because he just plays for the Bears right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, yeah, a lot of older names. Equanimous St. Brown did a season with the Packers. Did 3 seasons with the Packers.
I think I did know that actually. I hate when we do these because I'm like, oh yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
Just didn't pop into my brain because it was so like
Oh yeah.
not not important, but just wasn't
All
there.
right, let's look at the basketball one. So top 3 we got Nuggets, Nets, first round draft pick, Bears and Nuggets. This was just your day for Immaculate Grid. Left 3 we got Lakers, Jazz, Raptors. Since he did so good with the Bears, I'm just gonna let you take the lead again on this one.
Okay.
Let's just throw LeBron in for Lakers first round pick. I think Donovan Mitchell was a first round pick for the Jazz. Oof. Oh, let's go Kyle Lowry. I think he was a first round pick. Cool. I got my three done. You want to take out these other two columns for us?
Yeah. So in the first one, we got LeBron.
No, he don't play for the Nuggets.
First one, we got
Oh my goodness.
Jamal Murray. Uh,
I don't think Jamal Murray's been on any other team.
I was just kidding. Obviously, I don't know any
My bad.
basketball.
Malik Beasley. Come on, dude.
Oh, duh.
Come on. 1% of the population knew that. You should have been that 1%.
I don't know if that's what the percentages mean.
What about Jazz Nuggets? You know this one?
Oh yeah, Larry Bird.
Paul Millsap, but you were really close. You're getting closer, I feel like. What about okay, easy one. Nuggets Raptors. First name that comes to your mind. You got this. Light
Paul George.
Jalen Rose, but you're definitely like you're right there.
All right, I got this next column.
Okay. This column's all you, okay? Nets and Lakers. What you got?
Giannis.
It was Jared Dudley, but you were like, don't let that like
Oh, this is
discourage
the
you.
Jazz.
This one's the Jazz, so it's all you. Come on.
Oh, Jack Harlow.
Oh, he's not in the pros. He's not in the pros.
I've seen him play.
Darren Williams. So you're thinking of the movie White Men Can't Jump Part 2. That's what you were thinking of. But that's okay. You got one more chance. You got Nets and Raptors.
This one you have to help me. What's the guy with the big beard?
There's a lot of them with big beards. You can't.
You know the one.
Look at the photos we have. All of them have some sort of facial hair, so you can't really use that as an indicator.
The big one.
The really big one. Yep.
The big. You
better not be thinking James Harden.
James Harden.
Nope. Oh my gosh, it is Thaddeus Young. It's kind of crazy how many NBA players have facial hair.
It just kind of feels rigged that I didn't get any of those and you didn't even like try. But
I didn't want to waste our guesses, but
I don't think it would have been wasting. I think we would have got them perfectly. So
okay, well that's immaculate grip. Do you want to talk about the Nuggets? They've been on a kind of a tough streak lately.
That's why I don't want to talk about them.
Cool. I could talk about the Blazers.
No, let's just get it over with. So the Nuggets haven't been playing basketball recently. I have no idea what's going on. Jokic isn't performing at his best.
So many injuries too.
Yeah, Pope is having some problems.
I know this Bucks game, Jamal Murray did like 18 minutes and KCP did like 9 because they both went out with injuries like almost right away.
It's crazy that in those 18 minutes, Jamal Murray had 3 points and 2 rebounds. But yeah, 3-loss streak.
2 of them to the Kings.
Not doing anything.
I mean, even Jokic is like, look, that last loss last night, 15-8-5.
It's hard when he doesn't have teammates to play with. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it at all. They're not doing well, but I'm hoping it's just like a mid-season injury resting, chill out type thing.
Yeah.
They're still 36-19, fourth in the West. We know that top is stacked in the West, but
yeah, for real.
It hasn't been enjoyable checking in on the games.
Well, I can go on to my team then, because the Trailblazers are also on a losing streak.
I was gonna say there's no way they're doing anything.
Blazers are 15-38, 14th in the West, still not last. See, I don't know who created our schedule, but it is terrible. We just lost to the Timberwolves like a couple nights ago. We play the Timberwolves tonight. So I don't know why that happened with the Nuggets where like we played them Friday, took a day off, and then played them Sunday. I don't know what kind of Bishop Sycamore schedule this is where they're giving us like 5 tough teams in a week or something, but
you just got to get it done, man.
I've had enough. Yeah, and I mean, like, it's kind of the same thing. Like, Malcolm Brogdon has been out with tendonitis. Um, DeAndre Ayton's like got tendonitis in his knee. He's played like the last couple games, but he's finally starting to pick it up a little bit. I feel. Anthony Simmons was out against the Pelicans with a sprained ankle, and then came back against the Timberwolves and still put up like 20 points. So I mean, he's still doing decent. And then they just can't figure out who they want on the court for that starting five because they'll go like Tamani Kamara will play a game, and then they'll bench him. And then they'll be like, okay, we know that you just rode the bench last game, but I bet you could come in and start this and still put up numbers. And then they start him, and like he's like 14, 2, and 4. Good points, but like not much all around.
This is their starting 10, dude. It's because you don't understand.
My bad. And
You're
then you
not
got
paying attention.
and you got dudes like Matisse Thybulle who like they run every night, who averages like 271, 712, 012. It sounds like it's like a locker combination at this point. And so like I don't know, dude. It's such a wash of a season. I've said that every week that it's just like we're just fighting for that first. What's terrible is we could tank this season and then still not get the first pick in the draft because they do lottery picks now. And so it's like the bottom 5 teams would ever get like just so teams don't tank. So it's like we literally have nothing to fight for except a chance at like a top 5 pick.
You guys could get Bronny.
We could. That's what I'm hoping. So LeBron just moves to like Portland. Could you imagine? I would like become the fakest LeBron fan. I'd get all the jerseys. I'd be like, man, I've been on LeBron from day one. I've been, I just knew when he was coming out of high school that he'd be the best player in the league, better than Kobe and Jordan. Like in a heartbeat, I'd sell out so quickly.
It's funny because I don't even hate on the Trailblazers. Like, we're competitive. At least I am constantly like hating on you and your teams and everything. I don't do that with basketball.
What if
If
LeBron went there?
LeBron went to him, I would just tell you every day how dog your team is, and it's just awful. And find a new team. Might tell you some
It
awful
would.
thing.
I definitely have mixed feelings about it because I'd be like, I really don't like LeBron, but we have a chance at the like finals this year. It'd be like if like Mahomes went to the Broncos, I'd be like, this sucks, but like, you know, we'll take it.
See, there's a difference in what you just said though, because Patrick Mahomes can make things work. LeBron just flops and then cries. And the Lakers are like mid, so it's not like he goes to the Trailblazers and all of a sudden you guys are like winning championships. It's like no,
Right.
now we just have LeBron on the team and we're still losing.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. Let's move on to some news around the world.
Ugh,
Super Bowl edition.
world.
So the Super Bowl was just this last Sunday.
Was it really?
Yeah. Chiefs win 25-22 in overtime, the second ever Super Bowl to go into overtime, which is kind of crazy. And I'd say this is probably the most mid Super Bowl I've ever watched. That was a boring game.
I don't think you were watching the same thing.
We weren't. I was watching the Puppy Bowl. We should put that on here, the Puppy Bowl. No, it was decent. I mean, the fact that like it got close at the end was exciting for sure, and like it went into overtime. I saw someone posted they were like the Super Bowl felt like I was watching a football movie that didn't get like exciting until like the last second when it got like tied and went to overtime. I was like, yeah, that's fair. I mean, the 49ers have had such a solid game plan all season of just like, let's just run the ball a lot and do a lot of screens and like go off. And then they just didn't do anything this game.
And the times that they did, I mean, it worked out. They got good yardage,
Yeah.
touchdown. Like,
I think part of it too was it just seemed like Brock Purdy was very shaken at times. Like there were a few of those passes he threw like very short. He underthrew the receiver.
oh yeah.
Some of them did get tipped at the line for sure, but I don't know. There was just some times where I was just like, what was that pass? And then he'd throw a dot like the next play. And I'm like, dude, you're so inconsistent right now. So like that didn't help. They didn't use their tight ends whatsoever. George Kittle had like 3 catches and then destroyed his
I don't
shoulder.
even think he got like a I mean, besides the one that got called back because of a holding, I don't think he got a target until like third or fourth quarter.
Yeah. So then you're not using him. McCaffrey's not doing a whole lot. I mean, he had 22 carries for 80 yards, which, like, a lot of them, I feel like for the first three quarters, they're just like, all right, let's just run up the middle. McCaffrey could just punch a hole. But, like, the Chiefs' D line is good enough to just not let holes get created. And then they finally tossed it to the outside, and McCaffrey got, like, a huge 20-yard gain. And I was like, why are you not just letting one of the just most. He's like Derrick Henry. Once this dude gets a, like, full head of steam, he's running down dudes in his way. So let him get on the outside, and then you're opening up that outside for jet sweeps, play actions, and then once they, like, really have to spread out that line, then run it up the middle again. And yeah, it was just a rough game to watch if you're rooting for the 49ers, because it just felt like they did not remember anything about this season.
I wasn't rooting for the 49ers. I wanted to see Chiefs back to back. I didn't care if they lost. I just thought it'd be cool to see Patrick Mahomes get back to back. But again, it was a boring game at the end. I was like, okay. I mean, I didn't think about it the next day. I wouldn't even say I thought about it that night. Like, I was like, cool. Yeah, that was a Super Bowl that I watched, and I just moved on.
I
I
want to see.
probably won't care about any Super Bowl until the Bears are in it. So, I got decades.
Um, there was one, like, I saw one stat where the Chiefs. Yeah, here it is again. This one's on Reddit. I've seen it everywhere. That the Chiefs led the league in holding penalties this season, and then had zero holding penalties called on them in the Super Bowl matchup. Which everyone's like, there have been a few, like, clips people put out where they're like, this kind of looks like a clear hold. There's the one where, like, I think the Nick Bosa, like, rushes and does a spin move and then, like, gets bear hugged and, like, tackled.
Hmm.
Everyone's like, what? But I'm pretty sure with that one, if you turn and give your back to the defender, they can hold you, block you in the back. They could literally do whatever they want to you because you give them your back. Is
You're giving yourself away.
so that one I'm like, okay, that's fair. But there have been, like, a few others where, like, oh yeah, that looks like a hold. Just the fact that they led the league in holding, and then all of a sudden in one game they're the most disciplined team in the world is just
Which
kind
is
of.
funny because didn't you say that was the reffing crew that gives the most penalties to home teams? And
I thought it was. I think Megan said it wasn't. It was a different
I
crew,
didn't
but
think it was,
hmm.
but then you thought that he said they did this last week or something,
Yeah,
but I
I
was
don't know.
pretty
It was
sure it was
confusing.
the announcer crew.
Yeah, so I don't know, but it was, like you said, it was a wild game, kind of mid. Mahomes got that MVP, which I was like, oh, like, what did he do? But when you look at his stats, like, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception, 34
Only 12
46.
incompletions.
Um, which makes sense. They literally only passed the whole game. I think Pacheco probably got like 10 carries, is
I
what
think the
my.
reason they did is because the first time they tried it, he got dropped for -5 yards. Like
Yeah. Yeah, Pacheco had
they couldn't get anything with running.
yeah, he had 18 carries for 59 yards. He
Yeah,
had 4 less carries than uh McCaffrey.
they every time they tried to run the ball, they just got stopped. I think he had one decent run, but other than that, it was like obviously stick with the run game when you're or the pass game when your
If
run
it's
game's just getting
working.
destroyed the
Just
second you
so
try
funny
it.
that what they used the entire game was the pass game after leading the league in drop passes all season. That's what
Yeah.
ended up winning the game for them. So yeah,
Well, I
that's
think
wild.
what's Rice's first name? Is
Rasheed.
that Rasheed?
Mhm.
I think I saw something that he set the record for most catches by a rookie in the postseason with like 26.
Hmm,
So
that's interesting.
they have a good rookie that can catch balls, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if he can keep it up. And I mean, McCole Hardman's not bad. So yeah, it's
And
really
then
just
Tony didn't play,
Kadarius
so I mean
Toney. That's why they won the
that
game.
got yeah, I was gonna say that was their win.
Like you said, though, Chiefs go back to back. This is the first time a team has gone back to back since 2004.
Which is crazy because I could have swore
I
they
could have,
did it like
yeah,
early tens.
yeah, yeah. 2004 Patriots, which is when Brady was starting his dynasty with the Patriots. So I feel like it's fitting that everyone's saying that the Chiefs are a dynasty now because they're at this point. Mahomes becomes the third player with 3 or more Super Bowl wins, which that is insane to me as well. Like, I don't know. That's
Just
just
wait until he's the first with 10.
oh my gosh. No, he's 28. He doesn't have that much left in him. He's almost done. Did you see that one guy tweeted it? He tweeted it like after the Super Bowl. He was like, "Thank goodness Mahomes is only 28 and doesn't have a lot like left in the tank." Because everyone's like, "This is gonna age so well."
Well, because I think there was one with
What about
Tom
like
Brady,
Brady where that happened and they
and it
put up
was
like
like
3 more?
2015 or something, and people
Yeah,
were like, he was like, "Man, I'm so glad Tom Brady's like 30. Like, we're not going to see him much longer." And then he went on to win multiple more Super Bowls and change
yeah.
teams and play until he was 57. So
Gosh, yeah. So Chiefs are your Super Bowl champions, your world champions. Shout out to my wife. Um,
on her birthday,
yeah, it's kind of tough though. We don't have any football for like the next like 110 days or whatever they say it is.
say that again. Yeah. We
NBA
have we have the combine, we have the draft, we have
indoor football.
camps, indoor football. Don't ever talk to me about that again.
All right, moving on to the NBA. The East,
Why?
Celtics are leading the East 43-12, which is just disgusting.
Should I slurp my coffee into the microphone?
I'd prefer if you did. Um, the Cavaliers are right behind them at 36-12. In the West, the Timberwolves are at the top 38-16, with the Thunder right behind at 37-17. And the Lakers are in ninth place at 30-26. They finally passed 30. As I said, Steph Curry set a record last night when he became the first player in NBA history with 7 or more three-pointers in 4 consecutive games.
Yeah, I'm actually mad about the Suns one because I had a bet for the Suns to win and they lost by legit, I think, 1 point because
Oh,
Curry
dang.
decided to have, I think, 10 threes.
He had 9 threes. He was 9 for 16
9
on
threes.
threes.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the date. I don't know why.
Yes. On September 16th, November 16th,
I had no idea. I wasn't actually
July
looking at
16th,
what it
and
was.
September 19th. I think the
That's
stat
actually
is
crazy
that he
that the
shot.
last 3 were 16 attempts each.
Those are the first 3. My bad for that. I should have dated them. That's on me. That's in a row. That's in a row. So it was Pacers, then Suns, then Jazz. Last night was the Clippers game. I'm so sorry. You can fire me if you need to. But if you look at the Jazz game, he went 7-16 on threes for 25 points, which means 21 of his 25 points came from the 3-point line.
Well, if you look at the Suns,
27? 27? 27 of his 30 points in that game
yeah,
came from the 3
that's why I
point.
said 10 because I saw the 30 and I knew he had shot at least 9. So I was like, oh, he must have made 10.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the points that you put was how many he got from making threes.
No, that was his total points. Yeah, I mean, like against Pacers, he was 11-16, so it was like 33 points. He got 42 total. So that's just insane. What's crazy is who do they play next? Could he do it again?
I'm gonna do it again.
I'm gonna do it again. They play the Jazz today, it looks like.
Then he'll be the first player in NBA history with 7+ three-pointers
In
in 5
5
consecutive
consecutive
games.
games.
I was gonna just be setting records.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I know the Clippers game they still lost though, which it's like, bro, I'd be so pissed
Wish
if
I could
I.
have done that against the Suns.
More in NBA news. Isaiah Stewart recently got arrested after punching Drew Eubanks before the game. He got a citation and has been released with the investigation still active.
Normal day. I mean, whatever.
I'm trying to remember who's Isaiah. Pistons. That's right. He plays for the Pistons, so bad boy Pistons are coming back. In the NHL, in the East, the Bruins are 32-11-10, and the Rangers 34-16-3, leading their divisions. And in the West, the Stars are 33-14-6, and the Canucks 36-12-6, leading their divisions in the West.
Where are the Avs?
They're right behind the Stars. I know. I don't know like their exact.
They've been having a tough time. That's why I was just making a
33,
joke.
17, and 4.
It's not doing awful, but I did see like their last 3. They got dominated on 2 of them. They did win, I think, last night or the night before, like 6-3. But
yeah, they lost 4-0 on the 10th, 5-2 on the 8th, 5-3 on the 6th. Overtime 2-1. Yeah, they've been having some rough ones.
They've been getting dogged.
Next week in sports, normally have a lot for you guys. Because NBA is going on All-Star break this weekend, so they don't have any games.
Cool.
Go watch hockey, I guess, and watch the All-Star game. I don't really know. Yeah.
And we don't have any football, so
No
I mean, we
football.
won't be here next week, so don't expect an update on anything. But
yeah, if you want to know what happens in the All-Star game, go watch it yourself. We're not going to hold your hand.
Or look it up after, or I don't know, go on Twitter, whatever. We're not going to tell you how it happens.
It's all up to you.
I probably won't even know. I won't be in town that day.
We'll be gambling. All right, we're gonna head to a break, and then we're gonna be back for some NFL draft talk. Look at some mock drafts and see what's up with that. And then our very final pick'ems to see. We should have kept score of all our pick'em wins. I'm so stupid. All right, we'll be back. All right, and we're back with the season finale of Average José Sports Talk.
Bienvenidos and welcome.
No, that's the first part. We're on part 2. Yep,
we did that part.
We're back.
Hold on, let me. Next week in sports.
Nope. We did that one already because it was just not much happening, so we just knocked that out.
I'm behind on the script.
Yep.
News around the world.
No, that was way earlier in the episode. Now you're just wow.
So the Super Bowl is this weekend. We've got.
That's just a whole other episode. Holy cow! You're not even like. I don't even know how you have that script still. That script is gone. We just changed the scripts out. I don't even.
Hot takes. We're gonna do hot takes.
Yep.
Doing hot takes.
Yeah, except we're not. We're doing draft talk this week. I know. There's not a lot of hot takes out there. You were right, but we're gonna do draft talk this week. Now that the NFL's over and we have a good idea of where teams are sitting, I figured it'd be good to look at some mock draft stuff. So we're gonna look at ESPN's mock draft just because, like, I don't know. I feel like they're good.
Before we start this, okay? And there's all this about Chicago Bears are taking Caleb Williams. So let's just look at
right away. Chicago Bears taking Caleb Williams first overall. Any issues?
The president of the Chicago Bears, the president, sat down like yesterday or the day before, and he said he loves Justin Fields and can't wait to see what he does. He said he's glad he's a Chicago Bear and something about building around him. Obviously, I don't know how much pull he actually had. I mean, he's the president, so you'd think he has some pull in what the team does.
When did he say that?
Like yesterday or the day before.
Okay, so this came out yesterday at 7 a.m. Eastern time, which is honestly just disgusting.
That's insane, yeah.
But this still says the Bears' draft intentions will be much clearer once a decision's made on quarterback Justin Fields.
Like I said, I don't know what the president actually gets to say in the decision. I feel like he has some pull because he's the president of the team, but the GM ultimately decides like what they do and stuff. So yeah, I don't know what pull he has. I don't know if he's just saying that so that way there's no hard feelings. But he did do an interview that he said Justin Fields is dynamic. He can run. He can pass it. He's strong. He has a good heart. And he's glad Justin Fields is on the team and like something about like building up around him. Again, could just be, the nicety of it. So there's no hard feelings. But everything that I've actually seen has looked like the Bears are keeping Justin Fields. He's been in the Bears facility, training on the off season. the president said it. Like everything I've seen about Caleb Williams, this and that, everything I've seen about that has all been people that aren't a Bears worker.
Can we move on with the segment now?
Segment's over. That was literally the only thing that we had to discuss.
All right. So first overall, Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. I just think it's so funny that Caleb Williams is still a number one contender when you have someone like Drake May. I mean, Drake May is not bad, but like Jaden Daniels, who like this is here is like probably the best dual threat quarterback in this class, right? Like this dude's an insane runner.
Justin Fields runs and he's a running back,
right? But this dude's an insane runner, and then like he's got a good arm, and so like with how the NFL is changing, where quarterbacks are becoming so dual threat, you almost want to get ahead of that and get one who can already do that, and then you just got to get him right for the NFL. And so, yeah, I don't think Caleb Williams is. I think it's gonna be like a Johnny Manziel case where like he gets taken, and then everyone's like, "Oh no, he actually is not good."
When's the last time you saw a quarterback go number one and be like, "Oh, that's
true. That's true. Who are like the top? Like
Bryce Young got picked first last season, and I mean he wasn't awful. He didn't really have like a team around him, but CJ Stroud came out as a rookie and automatically started doing things. Like,
yeah,
and then the games that he didn't play, they didn't perform well in, meaning he was actually like the reason they did well. Baker Mayfield, I like Baker, and he did do well for Cleveland coming out, but he never like was an insane quarterback that was just doing things. Johnny Manziel.
Here's a list, NFL's list of top 20 quarterbacks who went first overall in the draft. So Terry Bradshaw, Peyton Manning, John Elway,
so old though.
Troy Aikman, Andrew Luck. Were like, I wouldn't consider Andrew Luck like a top 5 quarterback of all time.
A lot of people do,
but
it's also because, I mean, not because, but we never got to see him fully do anything because of injuries, and his body was just taking a beating. That he retired so young.
Also, I don't know, this might be the worst list to read because it says Andrew Luck is just 25 and 3 seasons into his career.
Oh, so this is from 20 years ago. You
Eli
look
Manning.
At the date before you
There's no date on it. Matthew Stafford, Drew Bledsoe is on this list.
I don't even know who that is.
Michael Vick, Cam Newton. Cam Newton was not that good. Oh my gosh. He was
in the Super Bowl season.
Oh, okay. Vinny Testaverde. That one's pretty. Carson Palmer. Alex Smith.
So yeah, you got a list from 1997.
Oh my gosh. Sam Bradford, David Carr, Tim Couch, Jamarcus Russell. Most of these players aren't even known by people. Oh my gosh, that is just hilarious. Okay, here's this one. This one is quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall in modern era power ranking, and it's actually just the same list, just in reverse. So we're just going to skip past that segment. First overall quarterbacks are typically not good lately. Yeah, I don't think Caleb Williams can do a whole lot in the NFL. And you can keep these receipts. Anyone listening can screenshot this, clip it, whatever, and bring it back to me if he wins 5 Super Bowls. But we'll see what happens.
I've said it before. I don't feel we can fully judge people on their college play because they're playing dudes that are going to graduate and go be accountants.
Right.
It's like we haven't seen them play Myles Garrett, and we haven't seen them get rushed by insane dudes.
Yeah. This has Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders as a second pick. I think that could be a good one. I think the Commanders will probably be looking for a quarterback to start building around, so I wouldn't be too surprised.
My thoughts are Commanders trade up to first because they got, what's his name? King. I know his last name's Kingsbury. Is it Clint? They got the coach that was the coach of Caleb Williams in college.
That's right.
He was the coach of the Cardinals. Then he went to wherever Caleb Williams played, and USC. Then they signed him as their OC. So I could see them going up. But the coach also was like, "Oh, yeah, this is a really good quarterback class. I wouldn't take anyone over anyone." And I was like, "Are you being nice, or do you just not like Caleb Williams?"
Well, then you have so third they have Drake May going to the Patriots. So the Bears honestly could trade away their that first pick to go to drop to third. They could
That's what I'm hoping they do. That's been
get a
my
lot out of this
draft this
draft.
entire time. My entire thing was they trade down to get a ton of picks from the Commanders, and I've seen also. I think this is outlandish, and I don't think it could happen, but it happened with the Panthers. Commanders trade them. Oh, Terry McLaurin,
Mm,
Scary Terry.
yeah.
So we get another, veteran wide receiver who's really solid, and then we trade down again to the Patriots for more picks. I don't want anyone from that team. But then we're sitting at
You could.
third.
What about the white quarterback, the starter for Patriots?
Gonna be on the team.
What's his name?
I guess.
Shoot.
I guess yeah, he wouldn't be on the team because they trade him to us.
What's his
Mac
name?
Jones.
Mac Jones. Thank you. Mac Jones is a backup for Justin Field. Could be killer.
It would kill the team for sure. Um, but yeah, I have us trading down again, drafting third, getting Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, they
because
could
I'm
do
pretty
like
sure
they
Cardinals
could do
would
what they're
get
doing in
him.
the NBA, where they could trade and like trade draft rights to Marvin Harrison Jr. So like how in the NBA, like trade with the Commanders to be like, okay, we'll take these picks from you, and you cannot take Marvin Harrison. They're like, okay, cool, we get the first overall pick, beautiful. And then the same thing with the Patriots, like, cool, we get the second overall pick, beautiful. And then they get to like third. Now they get a crap ton of stuff out of that, and are guaranteed Marvin Harrison Jr. Which, like it says here, Marvin Harrison's going fourth overall to the Cardinals. The first team that really would need him is the Cardinals. I don't see them moving on from Kyler Murray anytime soon. And so,
Yeah, once I heard that the Patriots were most likely getting rid of Mac Jones, I was no because before I was slightly worried they were going to try to get Marvin Harrison Jr., but then the report came out that they're getting rid of Mac Jones, and I was like, okay, they're probably going to draft a quarterback, which means we should draft down or trade
trade down.
down and just get Marvin Harrison Jr. before Cardinals because Cardinals are paying Kyler Murray, so they're not going to get rid of
They're
him.
not
They're
going
not
to.
going to draft a quarterback, and they need wide receivers. I want to steal Marvin Harrison Jr. from the Cardinals.
Yeah, that'd be the move for sure. Fifth overall, they got Joe Alt, offensive tackle from Notre Dame, going to the Chargers. I feel like that could be good. Start building up their offensive line because,
They do need a line bad.
yeah, they have no line. So I don't think it's bad at all. Sixth overall, Malik Neighbors, going wide receiver from LSU, going to the Giants. They just had a
If
huge deal with Daniel Jones, so they need something.
if the Bears don't get
Marvin
Marvin
Harrison?
Harrison Jr., I'm hoping Malik Neighbors is still available.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Some good receivers in this one for sure. Seventh overall, we got Rome Oduns, wide receiver from Washington, going to the Titans. Yeah, I mean, I don't think lack of receivers was Will Levis's issue this season, but I'm sure having good receivers will make some difference. Yeah.
Do they even
Number
have wide receivers?
That's what I'm saying. Like they don't have anyone, so like it'll make some sort of difference. I don't think that was the issue though. I think that number 8 overall we got Dallas Turner. I'm guessing that means edge rusher from Alabama. Going to the Falcons.
Could be lethal.
Could be lethal. I feel like the Falcons don't really have a huge defense, so if they're starting to put that together, then
Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree only had 6.5 sacks apiece last season.
neither got signed for 2024.
I don't know when Calais Campbell was
It's tough.
dude.
Here we go again. We got ninth overall
Hey,
pick, Latu. Dope name.
that is who I want. So
Edge
that's
rusher
crazy
from
they do have him.
UCLA, going to the Bears. So the Bears who get a QB with their first pick here with Williams.
Stop.
Honestly, I I feel like, though, getting this edge rusher could be crazy because then now all of a sudden you're looking at a 49ers type defense where you got stud edge rushers on both sides of the field.
Yeah, we
And
got veteran Montez, and we got a rookie that's insane.
I mean, like, rookie edge rushers can clearly come in and do stuff because Aiden Hutchinson came in a couple years ago and like in last year. Wait, was this his first season? This might have been his first season.
Let's
Trying to remember when he was with Michigan last. But anyways, he came in and was making moves already on the Lions. And so Latu could show up and just instantly transform this team just by doing what crap. The 49ers, not Nick Bosa, their other one they got from the Commanders.
Chase Young.
Chase Young. Doing basically what Chase Young was doing, where like, yeah, he wasn't getting sacks all season, but he's putting in that pressure to where all of a sudden Nick Bosa is able to wrap around and get that quarterback sack. And so you can see that where this is just going to give Montez Sweat even more help on that other side because all of a sudden now you've got two stud rushers coming in. So that'll be
Aiden
fun.
Hutchinson. So this was his second season. I thought
Okay.
last year was his rookie. He already has 21 sacks.
Oh my gosh, in 2 seasons?
In 2 seasons, he already has 21
He's
sacks.
halfway to that 50+ career sacks
That's
thing
exactly
already.
what it reminded me of.
All right. 10th overall, we got Olumuyiwa Fashanu, offensive tackle from Penn State, going to the Jets. Says that they're going to need to start building up their line now that Rodgers is coming back. I don't think lack of line caused him to tear his Achilles, but it wouldn't hurt to have a good offensive line.
I will say this, taking it back to our conversation earlier, if Aaron Rodgers can play at 40 with torn Achilles and his insane medical mental stuff, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to stay for quite a while. I think he has at least 12 more seasons in him.
For real. At the 11th overall, we got Jared Verse, edge rusher from Florida State, going to the Vikings.
Their defense needs some work. I think that's a
Their
good
defense,
pick.
yeah, they had no pass rush whatsoever. So, yeah,
No,
and
they
they're
let up
losing.
like the most pass yards in the NFL or something.
And it looks like they're losing some people to free agency too. So, like, they're going to need to start putting some work. 12th overall, JJ McCarthy, quarterback from Michigan, going to the Broncos. Has me a little excited. If they treat JJ right, I don't want them to like do what they've done every time they get a new quarterback, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't get a Super Bowl, then why are you here?" And then just drops them. Like they clearly
Well,
don't.
I mean, I would hope they don't do that because typically they sign a quarterback that's 47,
Right.
and then they're like, "Oh, you weren't a star because you're old? Well, now you're fired." But because he's young and he's new, I'm hoping they're like, "Okay, I understand that you're not, a veteran MVP candidate anymore, so,
Yeah. What's
you
terrible
can
is
build."
in this Russell Wilson like trade that we got, it left us with only like 6 picks for this draft. And so
Yeah.
we get McCarthy, and then our next pick isn't until like the 3rd round. And so we have to make a big move like right off the rip on our pick because we're not going to get anyone after this. And I feel like all the receivers are getting taken right away, like Adunze and Marvin Harrison. We don't really need edge rushers necessarily, but yeah, JJ McCarthy is just kind of like the most like logical pick out of the draft. It feels like.
I would be so pissed if Denver traded up with the Bears so that way they could get like Caleb Williams or something. I would just be pissed because that means we're not getting a quarterback
Anyone.
or Marvin Harrison
You're not
Jr.
getting anyone. I
We're
know that
straight up
we've been
just
eyeing Caleb
tanking.
Williams, so we'll see. 13th overall, we got Byron Murphy, the second defensive tackle
Byron.
from Texas, going to the Raiders. Could be good there, getting some defensive help. 14th, we got Tyler Gutone, offensive tackle from Oklahoma, going to the Saints. 15th, we got Terrion Arnold, cornerback from Alabama, going to the Colts. 16th, Brock Bowers, that tight end out of Georgia, going to the Seahawks. Could be huge for the Seahawks, getting a good tight end like that.
That's the guy we saw and we thought was 30, right?
Yeah, I think he is 30. Because they don't really have like a good tight end, do they?
Seahawks? I could not tell you who their tight end is.
Yeah, so that could be good getting some power there.
Oh,
Um,
Noah Fant,
oh yeah,
but he's a free agent, so.
so we'll see if we keep him. 17th, we got Jackson Powers Johnson, center from Oregon, going to the Jaguars.
Okay.
Um,
Oregon boy.
all right. 18th, we got Talise Fuaga, offensive tackle from Oregon State, going to the Bengals. 19th, we got Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback from Toledo, going to the Rams. I feel like they don't really need a lot of offensive strength. I think defense is just where they need to start building up again, and that could
Yeah.
be pretty good.
I think that's what killed them this season. I think they go further because their offense was obviously solid.
Yeah, especially with Puka. So 20th, we got Bo Nix, QB out of Oregon, going to the Steelers. I don't really know how I feel about this one. I don't
That's
know.
crazy. They took Kenny Pickett at number 20.
Did they? Oh yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, so maybe they'll let Bo Nix sit the bench a little bit and just like develop, which could be good. But 21, we got
He's not good.
Troy
He's like
Fatanu.
26 or something.
He's 24. It's like 24, 25. Troy Fatanu,
Good.
guard out of Washington, going to the Dolphins. 22, we got Nate Wiggins, corner from Clemson, going to the Eagles. 23, we got Ennis Rackstraw Jr., corner out of Missouri, going to the Texans via a Browns trade. Could be good, get that defense up a little bit. 24, we got Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M, going to the Cowboys.
It's crazy.
25, we got Cooper DeJean, corner out of Iowa, going to the Packers. Is that like 4 corners in a row, I feel like?
It's a high defensive first round.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 26, we got Graham Barton, guard out of Duke, going to the Buccaneers. 27, we got J.C. Latham, OT out of Alabama, going to the Cardinals via Houston trade. 28, we got Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU, going to the Bills. This could be huge for Josh Allen getting another target.
Having someone else.
This one could be good. 29, we got Darius Robinson. He's an edge rusher from Missouri going to the Lions. So again, you're putting up a decent edge rusher on opposite side. You're already good edge rusher. And so
they're just trying to copy the Bears.
For real. 30, Kamari Lassiter, corner from Georgia, going to the Ravens. 31, Amarius Mims, OT out of Georgia to the 49ers. And 32 overall, we got Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas to the Chiefs.
What's so funny is
we know what's happening.
That I knew they were going to get a wide receiver. That'd be crazy if they traded up to get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh my gosh. If Marvin Harrison and Mahomes got on a team, that would be lethal.
That'd be disgusting.
So I feel like a lot of these teams, I mean, I've never paid attention to the draft this closely, so I don't know if like last year you could say the same thing, but I feel like a lot of teams are making some good moves, and you could see like a huge shift in just records next season. I mean, a lot of these teams.
I was excited to watch the draft last season, and then the Bears had, I think maybe the 8th pick. They traded back one spot to the Eagles. We were on the board. I was expecting to get Jalen Carter, whatever that defensive. I think he's an edge rusher. I was expecting to get him. I was like, I really want him. Super high draft prospect. We have the chance to get him. I'm so excited. And then they trade back one spot to the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I was like, oh, they must know that the Eagles don't want him.
That's right.
They must know for a fact.
Them right away.
And that's who they took. And I mean, it wasn't a bad pick. I think with that pick, they got their lineman right. Darius, maybe? But yeah, they got right. Wasn't a bad pick. I was just so pissed they did not get Jalen, whatever his name is. I think Carter. So I turned it off right then and there. I could not tell you what happened for the rest. I was so pissed. I turned it off, didn't watch a single thing. I don't even know who our rookies were this season.
All right. Well, it'll be an interesting draft class. All right, let's wrap this up with our final pick'ems of the season.
Pickle.
If you remember, I took the Chiefs 34-28. You took them 24-17. And then we had a Taylor Swift pick of 27-13 because of like all the math and her favorite numbers and all that stuff. The Chiefs did win. They won 25, so you're 1 point off to 22. 5 points off there. You were 6 points total away from correct score.
I knew it was going to be a close game. It was definitely closer than I predicted. I thought it was going to be a touchdown game, not a field goal game, but
yeah. So that's the end of pick'ems. So I threw together a quick list of how our pick'ems did over the season. I didn't include episodes 15 on. That's when playoffs had started, and we kind of stopped keeping track of who was winning and just focused on score to see if one of us could get a correct score at some point. Starting in episode 2, though, off of our episode 1 pick'ems, we both tied our very first time doing pick'ems on our total. I took the win on episode 3. We tie again for 4. You won episode 5. Tie again for 6. You won for 7. Tie again for 8. And then here's when I went on that nasty run of 3 wins in a row because I kept making you take like the primetime games. And
yeah.
there's that one like Thanksgiving week where you had to pick like 5 games that I chose for you. So I get 3 wins in a row right there. We go into a tie again on episode 12. You win episode 13. And then we didn't do any picks for episode 14. So we ended there. What's the 5? Oh, ties.
Ties.
So
Normally people put that into the thing as well.
My bad. So we end the season where I win with a record of 4, 3, and 5. You lost 3, 4, and 5.
Yes.
But that is the
We're
end
not
of the
doing this next
episode
season.
for season 1. But we will be back next month when March Madness kicks off for Average Jose Sports Talk season 2.
Dope.
So we look forward to seeing you guys then. Bye.